Big air combinations, back-to-back keeper scores that had Kanoa chasing a 9+ ride through the dying seconds of that heat. We've got a brand new matchup setting up now. Jordy Smith versus Nat Young over Adriano de Souza in that final. This is what Jordy did at the start of the heat, Pete.
Yeah, earned himself a 4-point ride, little right-hander. You can see he's focusing on these rights. I mean, how could you not after watching what's happened the last 2 heats? But this man wants to make a few here. Both these surfers actually are wanting to make a few heats and pick up some momentum at the back half of the season. You know, Jordy hasn't had the best of results for 2022, and Nat getting himself through, making the cut. At this point, he has nothing to lose except, if he can get himself a win, all of a sudden you start talking about making it into the final 5.
Nat Young, nice pace on the backhand, squares up more vertically, and that'll take him down. He's just so used to Nat just nailing every turn, especially backhand. I was surprised by the fall there.
He's got the maneuvers and the stuff to get 8-point rides, but sometimes falls. Like that kind of a backhand hook. This wave would have been a complete package, and he still probably will get the better of the exchange. We'll see. But the fall at the end here, again, just kind of affects the score. So we don't want to see him that when his confidence is building. He is very sure-footed. Nat Young finished in the top 10 in his rookie debut. That was back in 2013. That same season, Jordy Smith won down at Bahada Tijuca. What do you like that's so unique about the backhand of Nat Young, Laura?
Oh, his backside is just so stellar. It's I've watched Nat surf since we were grommets going on boat trips to the Mentawais, and we were both sponsored by Nike back in the day, and he's always just had this strong weapon of a backhand, and actually charges as well. But yeah, I loved this. He just throws fantails, just so much spray displaced every time he does a turn. And he made a final ear home break, didn't he, in the junior series against Mark Lacamar? Yeah. Back when the World Junior Champs was at Laura's home court at Narrabeen. That was that rhythm for Nat Young. Went to change up vertically and then went down, but had some solid efforts before then. A 6.5 on this effort, so wins the opening exchange. It's one thing to be told, oh yeah, you got to do this, you got to do this. Yeah. You're like, yeah. But when you feel it in your heart and in your bones, that's when you learn. Where does growth come from? Rock bottom most of the time. Any hardships, it's, those times where you can grow and how you can just move up, onwards and upwards. So incredible to see Mateus back here and, obviously saying that was heartbreaking for him not to be able to do. Here he is now, and how surreal to have all the hard work pay off finally. And he's also been able to follow the heartbreak of Zhao Chianca falling off tour into the pit quickly with Jordy Smith. He'll try to force the completion. But even that lip at Sakurama will take down the big friendly giant. He'll have to find another opportunity in the barrel. Nat was lucky enough to have his family come and for the first time all year on tour, be down in El Salvador with his wife and daughter. So, I'm sure Jordy is very excited to get home to see his family in South Africa. Rolling into this one, Nat Young from Santa Cruz. Great timing on the first backhand blast. Fades it well as this wave gets nice and full. Yeah, not going to get that inside connect. With this backside snap, Laura. Yeah, this wave had a nice first section, but unfortunately just went pretty fat and didn't really offer him up anything at the end here. But, just something to get on the board to back up that 6.5. But I think he'll be looking for a Bolia wave. And, yeah, I loved, it still did have a nice first section, though. So this will be some good points. He's just so fast and whippy. I think that's the magic of his back. That's what that point of difference is, and it's very consistent. What happened to Jordy here, Laura? Yeah, this would have been a really good opportunity for him, but unfortunately that back foot just slipped off and goes down. Nat Young leads with a 6.5 and a 3.33. Jordy needs a 5.84 as he's up now. Deep off the bottom. Nice smooth frontside wrap for Smith. Snap to slide off the lip, and he'll take the low road. Sometimes there's an inside wedge. Not happening right now. We had the bonus ramp for Mateus Jordy in the previous heat. It hasn't really quite lined up for Jordy in this one. He floated over the first opportunity. Surfer in red's Jordy. Without priority, he's going to make a move. He's got some speed. Big air section. Upside down. Tail high reverse attempt. Incomplete. A lot of speed. He's got to eject. So it looked like those options looked better on the takeoff. That one stretched off on the sandbar really quickly. Nat's in a good position to potentially regain priority. We'll see where Jordy's sitting.
During that recap, Nat just got this wave, Laura.
Yeah, let's have a look. Nat needing to better that 3.33, so he gets a bit of drift and tail release on that last turn. He's going to look for the inside to see if he can get any more points on the board, and fortunately just not being able to do.
Be interesting what his chances would look like, if any, if he goes down in this round. Here comes Nat. Speed turn, falls out of the sky, good for just one move, and he's got to lay down. The Jordy needs a 5.51. He's still got a chance for the final 5. Nat Young's last wave, Pete.
I liked it, but judges aren't going to put it into his top 2. They're going to keep it around that 2.8 mark. So with that, he's going to keep that 3.67, and the door is going to be
sort of dragged down the beach a bit further. As we see Nat, he took off on this wave right in the channel of the right-hander. So maybe the current just taking Jordy out of position.
Nat Young still with some room on the inside. Throws down the snap. This one's connecting all the way down the beach and hammers that end section with some power. As we see the start of this wave, Pete, what'd you like?
Well, the vertical approach on the backhand. He didn't get the second maneuver that he would have liked, but he was able to find the juice that had the energy to get to this inside section, and it looked like, okay, he's just hanging with it. What's going to happen here? It looks like it's flattening out, but then watch. That water comes out, and it just goes juicy, and he tags it. So this is that was very helpful to solidify this wave, to get him a nice solid backup. As we watch that vertical approach, he's able to just put that board straight up and then carve through the maneuver with acceleration.
Great to see Nat with his kind of form with 90 seconds. I love how quick he can move. He can have a nice slow, smooth bottom turn and then rifle off something big when he gets to the lip. It's a 5.5. So now Jordy needs a 7.33.
That'll be a tough one for Jordy to hear. He was obviously had priority, but that last big inside turn. I love that he got that in there. And that
down to 15 seconds. Jordy needs a 7.33 as he rolls in, driving hard off the bottom. Connects with a big snap. Jordy throwing down a big frontside arc on the open face. He wants more, forces the climb, but he's incomplete, coming down to 2 moves to try to turn this heat around.
You know, it had a nice first section, so we saw him come down and do a nice big bash, but I just don't think anything was critical enough, and this section just went a bit too fat and just caught a little bit there. So I think Jordy probably knows himself as well. We'll see what the judges think, though. I
think the judges are right with you guys, coming just under. And it felt like he knew this section, wasn't giving him too much, and tried to really force a huge hook. Almost buried the rail at the start of that car.
Yeah, see the nose there. It was clipping that little bump coming off the rocks.
Jordy Smith out in the elimination round as Nat Young survives. Moving on into the round of 16. Ethan Ewing and local hero Joao Chianca coming up next.